If you had told me a few years ago that I would be sitting here today in my own brick and mortar shop running a business that I love, I would have never ever believed you. But here I am, and today I want to share my journey with you. How I went from making handmade products in my kitchen to running Sweet Hope Naturals as a full-time business and with my own storefront. And let me just say that it's probably not how you think. So pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, and if you're interested in hearing the story, please stay a while and let's get started. My journey with handmade bath and body products started a few years back from a desire to live a more natural life, from a desire to stay away from all the toxic chemicals all around us and start to actually care about what was going into my skin, onto my skin, and also my family. My daughter at the time started experiencing some skin irritations like eczema, which she had never had before. And as a teenager, she started having these issues. So that was the main reason why I started researching into making my own products, making sure that I knew exactly what was going in it so that I can feel good about what I was putting on my own body and my family as well. So I started to learn how to make soap, and that was the first product that I learned how to make. And from there, I started making some body butters and other soothing products specifically for my daughter and for her skin as well. And as I dove more into this area and this business, I absolutely fell in love and developed a passion for creating things that I knew were gonna be amazing for anybody who tried them. So the first thing I did was I started giving away my soap and my body butters as gifts to my family members, to my friends, and from there, people began to love the things that I was making and began to ask me to make more for them and that they would be willing to pay for it. At that point is when I realized that this could definitely turn into something more than just a hobby and that it could create an extra revenue for my family, which was something that would be very beneficial that we actually needed at the time. So this is where I had to pause and take some time to really think about what I was going to do. And the reason why I was hesitant is because as a Christian and as a believer, I didn't want to move forward with something that I hadn't asked the Lord's direction about first. I really was enjoying what I was doing, but that next step of turning it into a business where I was actually going to make an effort to create this business entity and show up at markets and start maybe an online web store and all these things, that was where I was doubting and fighting within myself because I had a desire to move forward with it, but I was also scared and I was also doubting my ability and also just was this okay for me to do? Would the Lord bless this if I went into doing it? So I had to take some time to really pray and seek the Lord and ask Him if this was something that I should be doing. But rewind, because at the beginning of the year when I started making soap, during the beginning of that time, God was already speaking into my life and telling me that I needed to dream. And it took me a while to really connect that word that God was giving me and connect it to this thing that I was doing, which was making handmade bath and body products. I didn't realize that the dreaming that God was asking me to do, to think big and to believe Him for big things in my life, I didn't realize that this could be that. And when I finally did, God spoke into my heart and used the people around me to really encourage me. I received a very, very specific prophetic word over my life that was just confirming all of these things, that God was preparing me for a new season of entrepreneurship. And this is going to be definitely a new season in my life. I have been serving the Lord for so many years, and as a pastor's wife, been so closely involved in ministry in the church. This has been my entire life. So shifting my focus to something that was not considered ministry, or at least I thought at the time, was really scary and was really hard for me to do. But through this journey, God has taught me that my business is my ministry, that what I am doing with my hands and using the gifts that He has given me, and the knowledge and the wisdom and the guidance for all of this that you see here behind me, it is because of Him that I am sitting here today. It is because believing and having faith on that word that He told me, dream, and I began to dream, and God started to confirm with the people around me that this is what He wanted, and He was telling me, go move forward, dream big. I believe that I can create something out of nothing. I want to tell you a little bit about Sweet Hope. So Sweet Hope is my name. My name is Dulce Esperanza, which if you translate it from the Spanish to English means literally sweet hope. And God reminded me that He is my sweet hope, that even when times are tough and you're going through a tough season and you're struggling as a family financially, but you're completely trusting in God, God will make a way. And this is how Sweet Hope Naturals was born, you guys. It was born from God making a way to provide for my family additional revenue, additional blessing, to be able to continue to do what my husband and I do together. Regardless of me starting this business, it didn't mean that I had to stop being who I am in terms of my spiritual gifts and what God has given me as a pastor's wife, as a worship leader, and as I speak to women, and there's a lot of things behind the scenes that you guys don't know about myself that are part of who I am, and I really didn't want to lose that by starting a business. But what I learned through this whole journey is that God wasn't taking one thing to give me another, but He was adding on to what I already am and who I already am and my identity. And now I have another identity, and that is a business owner. That is part of my new identity. I am now an entrepreneur. I am now a person who is running a full-time business. So let me fast forward, because once I get into preacher mode, it is very hard for me to stop and focus. So we're trying to get to the point of the video, and I want to continue to share my story with you. So let's fast forward to how we got to where we are today. When I went full blown in and I knew that God was saying yes to Sweet Hope Naturals, I went in 100%, and I was doing markets and I was doing online and I was doing really well. And we got through COVID, we got through all these challenges, and the business just kept growing and kept getting stronger. And that was just a testament to walking in faith and believing in God even when it seems impossible. And all those things led me to where I am today. When I began to create connections, this shop here used to be a boutique, and my friend who owned this business opened up her store for my product. And so I began a relationship with her, and my products was being sold in this very, very shop in a small shelf. And that was like amazing. That was such an amazing moment for me when I got to stock my soaps into an actual real store. It is just the best feeling ever. But it all started through having those relationships with other business owners and getting out there and connecting and meeting people. So it was through this relationship with my sweet special friend who owned this shop that I came to own this place. As I said before, it was not in my mind, and never did it cross my mind that I would have the ability to ever rent an actual brick and mortar here in this town. And I am in Northern California, and it is very, very expensive. And at this point, my business is growing organically. I left my part-time job at the church the moment that I opened this brick and mortar. And at that point, it's been full-time ever since. So this is going to be 2.5, almost 3 years ago when this store was open now as Sweet Hope Naturals. So this opportunity came from God as well. It just came from believing God and moving forward, you guys. I was not looking for a space. It never even crossed my mind. Not because I didn't want it, but because it was not a financial possibility. If I look up all the rental spaces that are available in my area, there's no way that my business can afford it. But this spot was the perfect spot for me. It was at the price that I needed, and I knew that I could count on my business making enough to pay for the rent in this specific spot. But this all just happened. I didn't plan for it. I was not looking for it. It was an opportunity that literally fell in my lap. And this is why I say in the title of this video, it's probably not how you think. Because it was literally God opening a door that at that time I believed was impossible. I believed I would not have the opportunity as a very micro small business to actually own a storefront. I really had to step into my faith yet again to believe that God would give me what I needed to come into this space, and that I would continue to grow, not just to have enough to pay the rent, but to go beyond that to actually make a profit. And you guys, this place is a gift from God. I believe that it is something obtained because of being faithful and believing in Him even when it seemed like a crazy thing to do. My business has been growing organically. I have not taken out any loans. I have not asked the government for money. I don't have any investors. This has all grown within itself organically because God is behind it and God has blessed it, and I have walked in faith ever since. This place continues to exist today because God has blessed it. And I want to tell you that God will bless you beyond your wildest dreams, but you have to take a step of faith. If you don't come out and just start doing the thing, you are never going to move. You are never going to see things change. You're going to continue in the same cycle of doubt and fear, and you're never going to break out into the new blessing, into this new season that God has for you. So today, this is my story, you guys. My story belongs to God. He brought me here. This business belongs to Him. And now having a brick and mortar has opened even more opportunities for me. It's opened even more areas of connection within my community. And I feel like God is behind everything that I've done because I chose to believe that word. I chose to run with a dream. I chose to have faith and to walk in faith. And I continue to do that. And I pray that I would always continue to do that because, as I said, this business belongs to Him. And I am here because of faith. And if I have faith, you can have faith too. And if I've done it, you can do it too. All you have to do is believe and trust. Put your plans before the Lord. Give them to Him. Let Him guide your path. Let Him open those doors. Let Him show you the way. Believe me, He will. He is so real. He is so real. And He is so interested in what your passions are. And He is so interested in what you love. And He wants to see you grow, and He wants to see you shine, and He wants to see you be amazing. So that is the Sweet Hope Naturals story, you guys. It's not a perfect story, but it is my perfect story. It is my story, and I am happy to share it with you. And I really hope that somehow my story can be an impulse for you, a motivation for you, and these words would resonate within you to know that if you lean on God, if you lean on your faith, you will see God moving in a mighty way. And when we partner with him, as business owners, when we partner with God, I am telling you that is the best partnership that ever existed. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey through YouTube and for allowing me to share this very personal story with you today. I hope that it's been a blessing. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if you have any doubts in your mind, if there's anything that I can encourage you with, a word for you, I will do that. I will pray for you. And I just really am thankful for this platform to be able to share my very personal behind the scenes story of how Sweet Hope Naturals got to be to where it is today. And like I said, it's all glory to the Lord, all glory to God. He is the one that deserves all the glory. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you will come back for another video. Again, leave me any comments below, subscribe, and continue to support our channel. Thank you so much, you guys.